An elderly Knoxville woman has fallen victim to one of the most expensive fraud cases that we've ever reported on.
Hoping to collect her pot of gold, she has lost $190,000 to a scammer.
WAT6 on your side consumer reporter Don Dare tells us the fraudster last talked with her just a few weeks ago, Don.
Well, that's right, Bo, and he wanted her to send even more money. You've won the lottery. It's something that many people want to hear, but sometimes those words come from scammers who are trying to steal your money. That's what happened to Satura after being told she had won the International Mega Millions jackpot. However, she was talking and corresponding with an imposter.
2/8/2023, $100.
Digging through her bag, Satoria showed us receipts and prepaid cards she has collected and sent off over the last 5.5 years.
200, 300.
The money was sent to several different named men after being told an international lottery had her name on it.
He told me that I have won $187 million, that I will have to pay the insurance, that I have to pay fees.
The amount of money she has sent over the years is staggering.
I would say pretty close to $190,000.
$190,000. Gone.
Gone.
Had you played the Mega Millions jackpot before?
Never. I didn't buy any ticket. I only register. I received a card, 4x6 card, where they say if you like to become a millionaire, all you have to do is sign your name, pay $50, and you register. And then Mega Million.
Satoria said once or twice a month she'd get a call that more money was needed, and they convinced her into sending it.
They say the way they talk, this is an international thing. It's a big thing. They only happen every 4 years.
They believe this stuff because these scammers are so good at what they do.
Have you ever heard of that much money being spent by a victim?
That's the most I've ever heard of personally by one person.
Better Business Bureau President Tony Binkley said Satoria had visited his office. She's 93, lost her husband 10 years ago, has no family, and has told no one about losing the money.
You've got to get a third party involved, and just somebody that you can trust and bounce this off of and see what they say.
Are you going to send them any more money?
I don't have any more money. I don't have money for gas, for food, and for rent. I'm completely broke.
What do you want people to know about this scam?
Nothing is true. $3,500 right here. And I hope someday somebody avoid this type of people.
A Missouri woman thought she won $4 million. Instead, she lost a huge portion of her life savings trying to claim the prize. It's not the first time we've heard about a phone scam like this, but this time, the dollar amount is shocking. Investigative reporter Chris Negus with our sister station in St. Louis on how to protect you, your money, and your family.
In November, she was told that she was a winner of the Publishers Clearinghouse contest.
Barb Fish of Belnor still can't believe it. Her 91-year-old mother-in-law, Corrine, was swindled out of a huge chunk of her life savings. And it all started with a phone call.
He got her to trust him explicitly. She told him her life story.
Fish says her mother-in-law thought she was paying taxes to claim her prize. From November until February, she wrote check after check.
$20,000, $1,300, $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, and there's more.
In fact, there's lots more.
$25,000, another $30,000.
Fish says her mother-in-law sent the scammers nearly $250,000. When you say that number out loud, what is your thought behind that?
Oh, it's devastating. She is just, now that she knows that it wasn't for real, she's just devastated.
In some cases, Fish says her mother-in-law actually withdrew cash and mailed it off, close to $10,000. She's frustrated the bank didn't stop her.
I think it's horrible. When you have elderly people that trust you and you don't question or try and, find out more information, I think it's wrong.
Publishers Clearinghouse recognizes the problem and even talks about these scams on its website. They warn consumers not to send any money to prepay taxes, and they will only notify winners of a prize via mail or in person, not over the phone. When Fish and her husband figured out the ruse, they had their mother's phone calls forwarded to their cell number. Fish says her husband told the scammers to stop, and it got personal.
You've done enough damage. Just, stop calling. And he says, oh, go sit by your daughter's grave and cry about it. So he knew that we had lost a daughter.
The bad guys knew Corinne's banking information and even her family's life story. The Fish family is going public because they don't want another family to be vulnerable or fall victim. Barb says watch your elderly family members' finances closely, even if it's too late for them. Do you think you'll ever see any of this money?
No. No, I don't.
Barb Fish tells me they've called the FBI. The money and the checks were mailed to multiple addresses all over the country, but many of the calls originated from an 876 area code that is Jamaica. In the past, experts have told us not to answer an 876 area code phone number if you don't recognize it.
An Oakland County woman says she lost her life savings, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to a scam.
Tonight, she's speaking openly about what happened in hopes of helping other people avoid it. Thanks for being here with us for the News at 6. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Devin Skillian. This is easily one of the biggest lottery scams on which we've ever reported. A Troy senior, Kathleen Tipp, out roughly $700,000 after thieves made her think she had won much more than that.
She just spoke with our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester. Hank, you've met a lot of scam victims. There's understandably a sense of wounded pride that keeps most of them from going on camera, and we understand that to talk about it. But this is not the case with Kathleen, and we appreciate her coming forward with her story.
Kimberly, Devin, we certainly do. As you can imagine, she's embarrassed by what happened, but she does not want this to happen to you. And in all of my years in covering scams and talking to victims, I've never heard a story like this one.
What has this done to you?
It's devastated me. Are you kidding me?
Kathleen Tipp has trouble believing it really happened. Sitting in her Troy condo, she's surrounded by a pile of receipts, copies of checks, reminders of the thousands of dollars she lost to a high-tech thief.
He kept, even just this morning, he texted me.
He did again?
He did, and the detective this morning said, don't have any more communication with him.
Last fall, she got the call many of us dream about, or so she thought. She was told that she'd won the Publishers Clearinghouse grand prize, but in order to get the big winnings, she needed to pay up. It started with a small request, $500 needed to send her all the paperwork, handle all the legal logistics. But as the weeks dragged on, the dollar amounts got higher, the request even more bizarre. Yes, she sent the thieves a high-end watch, diamonds, and more.
Oh, a Rolex watch and a diamond bracelet.
And the idea there was that you were told if you buy the jewelry,
they're going to sell it, make a profit. It'll go towards a prize.
So as I'm putting this story together today, I think I'm thinking what you might be thinking at home. How in the world did this woman fall for this? I would never fall for a scam like that. But here's the deal. These scammers, they prey on seniors. They use emotion. They make them believe if they don't do everything they say, they're going to be in big trouble. I get it. A police investigation now underway, but the scammer is likely long gone. On to the next victim. Kathleen doesn't want that person to be you. And before all of this happened, Kathleen and her husband, they were enjoying retirement, really not a big financial care. She's 74, and at this point in her life, she says she has to find a job because she's worried about paying the bills.
Well, you've won a new car, millions of dollars in cash for life. I wish I were serious. The crazy thing is you don't even remember entering the contest.
Oh my
Lori.
goodness. I know con artists continue to pose as Publishers Clearinghouse and play on our desire to get rich quick, making us go, wow, for just a second.
It's exactly what they sound like.
Yeah, they've now added a new ploy though to their con game, an official looking document claiming you are a winner.
Oh, such a bummer. WAT 6 on your side. Consumer reporter Don Dare shows us what the document says and explains how to avoid this scam. Don.
Well, Summer, for many people who receive the letter of confirmation that you're going to see in a moment may clinch the deal. Con artists have to come up with different schemes, hoping you will believe their pitch about your winnings. First, there is the real-looking but phony check with your name on it. Now scammers have gone another step, sending you official-looking documentation from trusted sources saying you're a winner.
Like many people across the country, Gary has purchased magazines from Publishers Clearinghouse, but he's never won any prize from the company, famous for its prize patrol.
You won $1 million, $1,000 a week for life.
And Gary did not win this multi-million-dollar jackpot from PCH, even though a caller said he had.
You're a winner of $2.5 million. Wow. $7,500 a month for the rest of your life, and a 2021 new Mercedes car.
To convince Gary that the deal was real, he was sent verification from two sources, the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission, claiming he had won the money.
Making me feel that this is all legitimate. Later I found out that the Better Business Bureau hadn't used this logo in several years.
Total amount needed to conclude wire transfer and delivery. There was also a fee he had to pay to claim his prize.
At the very bottom of the last page, it says for you to send them $4,900 for an insurance policy.
Fraudsters involved in this type of scam will not only use several official-looking letters informing you about your guaranteed winnings, but they'll also try to convince you over the phone about winning the sweepstakes.
Oh, they look really good, and they're using a lot of name brand companies that people have heard of, like the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission and Mercedes and Bank of America. I mean, they did a good job at putting this together.
Here are some red flags. Be wary of unsolicited correspondence. If you can't recall entering the contest, it's likely a scam. Never pay fees to claim a prize. You don't pay up front before receiving winnings, not even taxes. And look for typos and misspellings. They're telltale signs of a scam. The scammer's ultimate goal is for the would-be winners to send them money.
That's always their goal. Send us some money so you can get your money. Send us a little bit and we'll send you a lot. And that's always what they want.